Hi, my name is Isaac Samuelson, and I'm conducting this interview for Professor Petrucci's Leadership and Organizational Management class. Question 1. Tell me about yourself. Right now, I'm currently finishing up my senior year at Temple University. I'm in my final semester, and in December, I'll graduate with a bachelor's in business administration. Before Temple, I was at a community college in Harrisburg, where I achieved an associate's degree. I bring up the community college for two reasons. The first being that I'm proud of my accomplishment. I'm proud that I achieved an associate's degree. The second is that I intentionally went to community college before attending a four-year school because I realized it was a financially wise thing to do. Being financially wise is one of the traits that I believe I've carried through life, not just now, but even well before I was going to community college. I've been working part-time to help earn my way through college. I didn't want to have to rely on other people to make my way through college and rely on the plans of others. I wanted to do it for myself. I believe that reveals various traits about myself. Something else that I wanted to bring up is that I'm the oldest of five children in my family. I believe this is not necessarily a business related issue, but I wanted to bring it up because it's affected the way that I act now, and that I've seen how setting the example is one of the most important ways you can lead. In the same way that you would set an example for your siblings, I try to set an example for my peers and those under me now. That is, I try to lead by example. I have certain convictions and certain goals that I hold myself to, and I do this, you could say, idealized influence. I try to lead people by the characteristics that I have, and that I set standards, and I believe that other people will try to follow those same standards when they see how I live out my life and how I act. I'm very interested in globally what's going on in the business world. I try to stay up to date on various topics that are going around the world. Means such as the Wall Street Journal. For instance, the Wall Street Journal has had a series covering the conflict in Syria right now. I just love reading the Wall Street Journal and seeing how different countries are involved and how issues that might not seem relevant to us now can be extremely influential. For instance, in the Syrian conflict, two of the countries that are involved in Syria are Saudi Arabia and Iran. And because of the way these different countries interact with America, let's say Iran would come down and attack Saudi Arabia as one of their oil rigs. If they do this, then the price of gasoline across the world will go up, and business will be affected here in America as well as other places that you may be operating. I just really enjoy trying to keep a global mindset and see how other countries are doing business and seeing how that might affect us in the future. Question 2. Tell me about a significant accomplishment in your life. Well, last summer, I completed the Officer Candidate School program for the United States Marine Corps in Quantico, Virginia. This is something I had started in 2010 when I went to train in the juniors course in Quantico, Virginia, and I completed it this last summer when I went down and completed the seniors course. This course is set up by the United States Marine Corps to test individuals to see if they have what it takes to lead other Marines. They tested us educationally, they tested us physically, and they tested us repeatedly to see if we have what it takes to lead others. We went through various training exercises and reflective tests to see how quick we could react to unknown circumstances, and we went through multiple evaluations by both our trainers and also our peers. I learned so much about what it meant to be a leader, just the importance of honor, courage, commitment, and leadership traits about how you should know yourself and know how you need to improve before you should start trying to make others improve. It also reinforced the ideas that I have about idealized influence, and that seeing how you live and how you work is going to affect how other people want to work under you. That is, I believe that setting the example is, again, one of the most important things about leadership. And through setting the example at Officer Candidate School, I learned more about myself and more about how to be a good leader. I'm proud to say I completed the course, and of training complete to become a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps, should I choose to join the ranks after my college education. Question 3. Tell about something you have learned in class. Well, really, the two main things that I really picked up on in class that I found most interesting are the topics of communication and culture. With communication, I found it so interesting how scientific communication has gotten in the business world. I know that different people, just through my own personal life experience, how different people interact different ways. And there's different ways you want to communicate with the different people that you know. However, I never realized there was such a science behind it, and how there's very specific ways to communicate with different people. And by acting in different ways, both physically and verbally, you can get people to think or have certain emotions that you wouldn't otherwise be able to have. I love seeing how just you can influence people in ways that you never thought possible just by using the right techniques. And that ties in closely with culture too. I like seeing how if you communicate properly from the top of your organization down to the bottom, you can completely change your culture. You can set an example at the top and communicate how you want your business to be run, and the people at the very bottom will pick up on that. Communication closely ties in with culture, but I just think it's been so interesting how an individual at the top of an organization, or even somewhere else in the organization, if he properly acts and properly communicates with others, he's able to set an example for them, and he's able to spread that example throughout the organization and create a culture almost from his actions individually. That the culture that we've been talking about is just, it's been really inspiring for me, and it makes me really want to get out into the business world and just try to communicate with others and try to change the cultures for the better. So that concludes this interview. Thank you for your time. That's all.